Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today I am here to show you something a little bit different. It has to do with the new gym link, Focused Ballista, and what I think about it and my opinion on it, and if I'm going to be, using it a lot more. We'll see. So, I'm doing this in standard as my Orbot is not online right now, and I don't have the mana sustain or anything like that to run currently without my Orbot, just because I've been mainly hanging out with him and doing logbooks in the league, so that's just kind of where I'm at there. Now, as far as in standard, I have basically just been playtesting this gem out, and I have found that it's actually extremely fun, and you can make it pretty insane depending on the situation. So, first things first, I'm gonna go to my hideout real quick here and kind of show you where I'm at with it. One thing I will say is that as far as a variation from what you're used to on my builds and Ice Shot, it is not very much different. I have a total of 4 totems, and when I fire, they all fire at the same time, fairly quickly. Alright, let's see here. I actually have a Conqueror up, so that's a perfect little playtest for me. Let me go talk to... Alright. And then we're doing Delirium in this area. Boom. I actually think this is outdated, isn't it? 800 for 2. Yeah, this is way outdated. Now, there are a couple of ways you can go about doing this setup. The first way is, as you saw, I am using a Ballista Totem with Focused Ballista and Barrage support on my Ice Shot for the single target. Now, that is pretty good for a single target, but you can also do a whole clear setup. And if you do a whole clear setup and swap the gems in between bosses, what you can do then is you can drop like one of your cleared skills, because I have GMP and Chain currently in. I'd probably drop Chain and just use GMP and then another damage gem, because I'd have a lot more clear. This is the downside about running so much clear, is there's a lot of stuff that doesn't load, but the upside is things are dead before you usually get to them, so we're gonna go ahead and try and kill both the boss and the Conqueror in the fog, so you can see the health buff and everything. And here's the boss, he's dead. Onyx Amulet, Chalupa Amulet. Let's go see if we can kill the Redeemer in the fog. How about that? 1, 2, 3, 4.
My mana is gone.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently the storm and her tornadoes were invisible. Oh, now it's showing up. It's a little unfortunate, but as you saw there, the damage is relatively solid. I don't have my Focused Ballista up to max damage yet, so I am missing just a little bit of damage on that. Now, what you can also do is you can also use a barrage support on your mains clear skill on bossing, which would basically make it so you are barraging with 5 different sources. You and 4 totems, so you would just sit there and delete everything. So let's see if we can't go delete this Redeemer real quick. Now this is with Meritor gear, so I haven't tested this thoroughly enough to kind of give you a. Oh, it looks like our fog disappeared. All right. Am I fusing and that? All right.
I shall free you.
Oh, there's a storm. Okay.
Load them! Distasteful! Sloth! I shall free you.
Bam, and that's Redeemer.
Thought myself
Excuse me.
better than you,
All right.
but you and
What is
I
this?
are bound
Mana and
to
life recovered.
waltz
Cool. Well,
together
that's
forever.
basically what that is, and what the setup looks like is Ice Shot, Barrage Support, Crit Strikes, Ballista Totem, crit damage, and Focused Ballista is my current setup. Now, crit strikes, crit damage seems to be the going for a lot of things, but I have to test it out and see what's more DPS, either the crit damage or LA damage with attacks and something else. But as it sits, it seems like this is actually really solid. However, I will be testing multiple totems, which will allow me to place 2 totems down at a time, which will be just overall a lot more DPS to be output every single second. And even though you lose a little bit of damage, you get a lot more overall just DPS. Let's see, is this any good? Nope.
My only
Now, I will recommend that if you're doing this, you kind of make it your own, kind of test it the way you need to test it. I will say also that I am using crit strike support, which is a DPS loss in a way, because if I take it off, my crit is 48% here and 44% here. I still have an insane amount of crit, and I have the bottled faith, and I have I don't have Assassin's Mark, but yeah, that's 40. That's a relatively good crit plus bottled faith. I have insane crit as is, and I still don't have a base crit hatred Watcher's Eye. This Watcher's Eye I'm using, I believe, is just damage, triple damage, if I'm not mistaken. If I can find it, that'd be nice. Ah, there we go. Precision hatred with just damage, as much damage as possible. Now, also, if you can see, my reses are not capped. Only thing capped is cold res. I still have to fix that eventually. Um, Usually, I would be using a Stygian Vice, but I've been using a Headhunter to try and just mitigate that need for a Stygian, I guess. Let me go ahead and put all my stuff away. I'll go ahead and put crit strike support, because base crit is cool, but not absolutely necessary. Put some watchers. I put some of these clusters away, and then let's see if we can find a multiple totem support, so you guys can see what that looks like. MULT. There we go, multiple totem support. Now, multiple totem support, I don't have anything too crazy, unfortunately. Let me see if I can buy a crazy one. 2020, no quality, no alt quality. Okay. What is that? Totem duration. That's interesting. Divergent is totem damage. Yeah, people are crazy when it comes to prices, unfortunately, on standard. Like, this is just some guy being stupid, honestly. Okay. Alright, well, multiple totems gives you 2 totems, but 24% less damage. And then, you summon 2 instead of 1. So, if I do this, I go 2, 4, 6, and now I shoot, and I have 6 barrage totems all firing at once. Alright, so let's go ahead and go test this out in a map. As I said, I am testing this out. This is basically all new to me, just as it is to you guys. So, you know, I'm not here to be like, hey, this is the best thing ever. Go, everyone, go try it. Just give it a shot. If you like it, you like it. I can also recommend a couple of jewels to you. One of them is less totem damage, two additional projectiles. Or yeah, reduced totem damage. Um, Reduce totem damage to projectiles, which is offset by increases, and you have so many increases in the build that it basically doesn't give you any less multiplier, or it doesn't give you any downside. It's just 2 projectiles, and the fact that it's just a random crimson jewel that's normally like 5C. You can probably get it. If you're doing this in League, they are about an X though, so just a heads up there.
My mana is gone.
Now, I will say I am not using my Sniper's Mark right now, just because I was testing out Assassin's Mark in this setup. So that's also a little bit of a lag decrease and a DPS decrease. You would probably be doing just a insane amount of more damage multipliers with that, which would which would have made that Redeemer fight, you know, really quick. Also, you know, doing the proper links instead of crit chance might have helped too, but you know, who's counting, right? And that is the boss. As you see, this is a very, very, very strong setup. What I'll be doing in the near future is I'll be testing this out on my my deck stacking ice shot, as I got my skill to have zero mana cost. Alright, that's a relatively solid physical. Relatively solid payout. We got a decent amount of stuff here, so we're gonna just go ahead and put it all on. I don't normally sit here and put incubators on, but I don't really have a reason not to, because, I mean, I'm in standard and I hoard everything. Now, I will say that there is a caveat to this in a way. You have to be careful because ice shot's inherently laggy. Now, normally I don't play with my volume on, or I play with very minimal volume. As you saw there, you know, there was some volume where you know, the voice and everything like that. So let's go ahead and let me show you what the lag feels like if we turn our master volume all the way off. Now, I like to play with the music on. There's a lot of people who don't play with any volume on, but this'll just be a kind of both a test and a you know, just a showcase of, hey, this is what you're looking forward to on console if you have no volume. It's unfortunate, but console can't really do volume very well. Now, this is actually the other test slash thing I wanted to show you guys. Let me find it real quick. I think I have it here somewhere. The bricked one, but do we have another grader? Let's see, Greeat. No. Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and take out the barrage support for this, like that. And we're going to just put this aside. And what we're going to do next is we're going to, let's see, we're going to take out the Assassin's Mark gem because we're not really needing it all that much. The crit is really nice. That's what I meant. That's what I was talking about. I had crit in Assassin's Mark. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. And then we're going to recolor this to have one green to show you guys the sniper mark setup. Still doing everything else the same. So let's see if we can't find a leveled up sniper mark. Ah, here we go. 2020 is fine. That's what it looks like when you have a bunch of ballistas firing at the same time. It looks really cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and put in our next map, and this one's going to be a ritual. So what I'll do is I'll put ritual on and show you guys exactly what it looks like when you're in a ritual just doing this. One thing I will ask you to remember is that this is an ice shot setup. So anything you are critting, you are chilling and freezing. And when you are chilling and freezing, you are just basically making it so things can't attack you or your totems. Now, you can take this even further and use something along the lines of Breath Stealers, which Breath Stealers would just be pretty insane. As anyone who's used totems before would can tell you, Breath Stealers are pretty nuts with this kind of thing. And this is what it looks like when you're, oh, fireball, when you're running this. As you see, it does get insanely laggy. And that's Chevron. Let's Chevron again. As far as the quality of life of this, I feel like this is going to make just your overall playing feel so much better. Let's go ahead and do this real quick, just because we can. And there you go. That's what console's about. I'd like to be able to kill you though, buddy. Can I? Thank you. Alright. So we've done all 4 rituals. Let's go ahead and see what we got. We got a Rot Blood Promise Ring. Cartography Scarab. I'm just going to defer these. Then I'm going to re-roll, see what we get. Looks like we got the ring, this. Cool. Defer again. We got the ring again, and more splinters. And we can, let's see, 1400. Let's defer that too. And what do we have? We have a minions deal damage burnished foil. And a ritual spinners, this. and we'll just defer all this. All right. So the reason why I like deferring on this kind of thing, there's a couple good reasons. The main reason you defer is because, in my experience, if you defer, you don't really need to worry about too much else. You can just kind of defer it, and it comes eventually. And deferring it doesn't necessarily block out things. I don't know where I heard this from, but someone I was talking to was like, if you defer, you block out future prospects of getting this or that. And I'm like, no, it's not how it works. At least not for me. I've always found exalts regardless of all of my excess deferred stuff. So alright, so we're going to go into another deli map, and this one, because we want to, show you a little bit more about the single target, we're going to put in the barrage support again, taking out the GMP, and just kind of, give you a heads up. Looks like we got the quad loot, that's pretty cool. Damage over time. Now there are ways to make this whole setup just feel a little bit more smoother. Um, the biggest way I can think of is getting your mana cost on these to 0. And if you can do that, either with minus costs or stuff like that, you should be really well off and be able to do like all kinds of really cool stuff with your setup. Because then you're just spamming totems, shooting, spamming totems, shooting, and you don't have to worry about your mana leech keeping up with all the excess. And this is what your single target looks like with Sniper's Mark instead of Assassin's. Sniper's Mark just does more damage. Assassin's Mark just helps you crit a little more, gives you better multi, but if you don't really care about the crit, then you can kind of just use Sniper's Mark. In my opinion, I prefer Sniper's Mark. I was just testing out the Assassins anyway. Now, as you saw there, that was a very quick map. Looks like we got a Delirium Orb and a bunch of other niceties. Non-curse aura, large 8 passive dual wielding. Alright, do we have anything cool? Let me put this on. Put this on. Just don't worry about the rest. Cool. Oh, we have Kadiro here. Alright, Kadiro, you gonna give me a headhunter? No. And without further ado, that is that. Now, I do appreciate you guys joining me here today and in my test of Focused Ballista. This is a very fun gym, and I recommend anyone who is playing in a bow build, give it a shot. You will not be disappointed. It's just honestly speaking is one of the better skills I've ever dealt with. Support gyms, that is, that I've ever dealt with. And with all the nerfs in tow, I believe it'll easily supplement the nerfs with just a bit of a buff. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry, I have allergies and they're really bugging me. But, yep, without further ado, this has been Chaos-Reighn. I do appreciate you guys joining me here again. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell icon in the corner so you guys can see more of my videos. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in to my I shot build guides and I shot builds, so on and so forth. If you have a request on a different skill, just drop it in. As long as it's a bow skill, I don't mind making it from scratch and trying it out. I have heard a lot of good things about Lightning Arrow now and a lot of good things about some other stuff, so what I might be doing soon is making a build or builds based on those. So without further ado, this has been Chaos-Reighn, and I do appreciate you guys joining me here today. Have a good one.